Blue Protocol is a good MMORPG. It's not the best MMORPG. It's not groundbreaking. It's not innovative. And I'm gonna go ahead here and talk about why that is. Before I do though, I wanna note two things. I'm gonna be streaming Blue Protocol every single day this week at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've already been streaming it today. These are my day one impressions. I would love for you to come on over, join me, ask all the questions you want, see what Blue Protocol is like firsthand, live. You can do that by following me over on Twitch, or if you'd prefer to try it out yourself, I actually have a guide up. I'll link to this in the description of the pinned comment. I'll link to it in the end card. This will walk you through exactly how to download, install, register, and get into the game yourself. Now, I will note I played the original beta test all the way back in 2019 or 2020. I invested a couple days into that beta test. I had some fun. I had a lot of issues with it. I then played the network test that ran a couple months ago. I thought that was a stark improvement. I noticed that there were still certain areas that needed significant improvement. I played the Archer, the original beta. I played the Mage, the most recent beta. I had a lot of issues with regards to resources playing the Mage. I feel like at times I was regenerating my resource more than I was actively engaging the enemy, actively using my abilities. And while they have noted, the devs themselves have noted that they have made significant improvements with regards to overhauling the areas that I actually found issue with regards to the Mage, I opted to this time play the Twin Striker, the dual axe guy, because I'm not a fan of tanking, so I don't want to play the sword and shield guy. I didn't want to play the stick with balls guy. The stick with balls guy, I don't know, he just doesn't really appeal to me. He just wields a big stick with a ball on top, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never wielded two giant axes before, but I have made extensive use of a stick and balls on numerous occasions. So, let's get this out of the way first. The alterations that were made seem minor. The game that I am playing right now doesn't really feel different to the network test I played a couple months ago, and that is perfectly fine. The issues that I found with the game when I played it were the drop rate and the cooldowns and the aggro generation. The aggro generation was actually kind of horrendous. I noted this in my previous video. You would juggle threat, which meant that every monster, every boss would kind of just zigzag between players hitting everyone at random intervals because no one could successfully retain the monster, the boss's aggro. So they gave the Aegis fighter a taunt skill so he can maintain the aggro or attempt to maintain the aggro. Now, this is my day one impression, so I have not had the opportunity to participate in the multiplayer content yet to really see and get a gauge for how well that threat generation works. I'm hoping to attempt to get into the multiplayer content on day 2 and 3. But so far, I have noticed that there has been adjustments made to the drop rate. This was my main concern. I spent 2 to 3 hours attempting to farm one single material. I needed 3 of one single material to craft my level 10 weapon. I was there for 2 to 3 hours farming the same fucking boars. That was the most horrendous grind I've had to do in an MMO in years. This is level 10. We're not talking endgame here. If you're required to grind endlessly for materials for your endgame gear, fine. This is level 10. You don't get given gear as a quest reward, which means you need to manually grind the materials for the gear yourself. You should not be required to invest hours into grinding for such low-level basic gear. You were forced to stop playing the game and farm the same single monster in the same single area for hours on end. That didn't just pertain to crafting materials, it also pertained to the monsters out in the field. And while I have talked to numerous people that have all said the drop rate has been overhauled, has been improved, Canon being one of those people, and I trust you, bro, I do. I have had still a somewhat less than stellar experience with regards to the drop rate. I was on a number of different occasions forced to grind significantly more monsters than I would have liked. There are plenty of quests out there that say you need to go out and hunt 5 monsters, so it's as simple as just killing 5 monsters. And then there are quests out there that tell you have to go and obtain 5 items from a monster. Typically in games like Final Fantasy XIV and in World of Warcraft, you go out there, you kill 5 monsters, and you're guaranteed 5 items. Back in vanilla WoW, old school WoW, that was not the case. The drop rate was significantly worse, but here in Blue Protocol still, and I'm not criticizing the game overall for this because this might have just been my personal bad luck, but I killed 2 boars. I got 2 items. I thought to myself, okay, good. The drop rate has improved significantly. I then fought 11 boars, and each boar takes approximately 10 seconds to kill. So I fought 11 boars. I got 1 item on the 11th kill. So 3 items in 13 monsters. By the time I obtained all 5 items, I was tallying in roughly 35 to 40 boars. Now, if you tell me you need to go out there and kill 30 boars for this quest, I will tell you, fine, no problem. I can get behind that. You need 30 items with a 100% guaranteed drop rate? That is more than fine. I can get behind that. If you tell me I need to go out there and obtain 5 items that each have a 10 to 15% drop rate, fuck you. Just tell me, give me a definitive drop rate with a much larger number that need to be obtained, and I won't complain. I'll go right ahead and I will grind for that. If you need 100 monster kills or 100 items to craft your level 10 weapon, fine, sure, no problem. Not you need 3 items and each item has a 0.1% chance of dropping. That is horrendous, that is atrocious, and absolutely abhorrent. But again, that might just be me. I know that there are other people that have had different experiences, and I know that there are people that have shared the same experience. Disregarding the drop rate, the first day's launch did not go over very well. And that's fine, because I understood launch day of any MMO is typically an atrocious experience. This was no different. I fully expected this, I fully anticipated this happening. So the game launched, and I think it was about midnight for me. I downloaded the game in anticipation of playing it. I went to bed. I woke up to literally hundreds of threads on Reddit, to thousands of tweets on social media, all discussing how they just couldn't get into the game, how there were so many different error messages, how they've been trying to get in for so many hours, they're crashing, they're disconnecting, they're unable to connect. Like, there are numerous different issues that are running rampant across every social platform. And these people are acting like this is the first time this has ever happened. It's not. This is an MMO launch. The first 24 hours are always atrocious, and typically when playing an MMO for the first time, when it launches, you want to wait about 24 to 48 hours. I knew this. I got into the game. I got to play 6 hours of it. I had fun, and I'm leaving it there for today. Shortly after I stopped playing today, the game went down for another 2-3 hour maintenance to deal with some critical issues that they were having. The first day's launch was not well received, and it did not go over well. But again, that is to be expected, and I cannot fault them for this. Disregarding the initial launch, disregarding the issues that were had along the way, I have been having a lot of fun in Blue Protocol. I've pushed through the first entire region so much faster than I did last time. I think it took me about 12 hours to get to the second region. This time it took me about 4, because this time, while the game is in Japanese, I knew exactly what to do with every quest. Other people didn't, so I've been powering through rapidly. The class I'm playing, the Twin Striker, is actually very powerful. I suck at dodging, so I'm getting hit a lot. I've died a few times. The combat for the Twin Striker is probably, I think, a lot more fun, a lot more engaging than the Mage was. The Mage, you kind of just stand back and you like shoot little, like, I don't know, air projectiles out. It hits the enemy. You juggle a few different abilities, but overall, outside of your like massive AoE meteor and a few of your AoE abilities, you kind of felt like a wet noodle. Like, I don't know how to really explain it. You didn't feel like you were making much of an impact. The Twin Striker, though, I have seen an extensive amount of Twin Strikers out there. I'm guessing I chose the right class this time around. There is a cash shop present in game now. Their rates for the gacha, they're not very good. There was a guy that spent $500 trying to obtain an outfit that he did not get, because from what I've been told, there is no pity present in the game, and pity is essentially a definitive point where you are guaranteed to receive the item that you were attempting to receive after enough investment. That does not seem to be present in Blue Protocol from what I've been told, which means that this guy wanted an outfit. He could have gotten the outfit after investing $10 into it. He might not get the outfit after investing $10,000 into it. That is fucking insane. I could not believe that that was the case. But, I mean, you gotta make your money somewhere, right? Now, I don't know the extent of what's available in the store right now. I couldn't really accurately translate everything in there. I know some people on social media are claiming that the cash shop is pay to win, but everyone's definition of pay to win varies by a substantial degree. Some people think having a mount that has a slightly faster movement speed, like in Final Fantasy XIV, is pay to win. Some people think having a WoW token in World of Warcraft is pay to win. Some people think having an XP boost in New World's cash shop was pay to win. Some people think being able to buy gear directly from the store is pay to win. So everyone's definition of the term is different. So it's not possible for me to accurately gauge whether or not the cash shop is at present pay to win until I gain the ability to accurately translate every item in the cash shop, and I did not have time to do that today. Graphically, the game is as beautiful as ever. There is not a single thing about this game that looks ugly. This game is gorgeous, easily and by far the best anime MMO available for the foreseeable future. One of the best looking anime games available, period. You can make beautiful characters. You have some of the most beautiful environments to explore. Your abilities look, well, admittedly, they look good. They don't look incredible. They look pretty good. The story is engaging. I don't understand any of it, but what is actively going on in it keeps me engaged enough where I don't have to skip it. I do skip the non-cutscene related conversations, sure, but that's just because I don't want to spoil what's going on when the game releases globally and I can actually understand all of it. Admittedly, it's still a little bit frustrating to have to use a VPN to access the game because I don't really feel like getting banned. And I know this doesn't guarantee I don't end up banned, but it does definitely reduce my chances of being detected. Unless, of course, Bandai Namco watched this video and they're like, hey, that guy right there, the guy in the video, he's playing, let's go ahead and just ban his account specifically, because that would kind of suck. But at the same time, I took precautions to attempt to avoid detection. See, I was told, don't talk in English in the chat, because people will report you. You're typically not going to be found out unless you're reported. They said, do not use an English name. So I went into this and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to use a Japanese name. Typically in games I play, I go by Flaccid Stix. I'm not always Stix, but I am always Flaccid. An accurate Japanese translation of Flaccid Stix, as you can see down at the bottom left of the screen, please don't ban me, is Furacido Stixo. That is the accurate Japanese translation. So that is what I went with. Yeah, I'm a modern day ninja. I might do YouTube for a living, but espionage is my side trade. Now, I haven't ever gotten to endgame in this game. The game world is absolutely filled with people doing all kinds of content. And admittedly, luring monsters into unsuspecting players is a lot of fun. I continue to do this all stream. Lure the level 20 purple name boss into the low level people, have it ram them, kill them. That is so much fun, very enjoyable for me. But I still find significant issue with the drop rates. That might get better as I continue through it. That might get better as I continue to consume and participate in other quests. And admittedly, in the 6-ish hours I played today, I really didn't get the opportunity to fully explore and experience everything I did during the network test. My honest thoughts are, so far, This is a very good game. It is not great. It is not incredible. It's not the best game ever. It's not innovative. It doesn't bring anything really new to the table, but it's fun. It is genuinely fun. It genuinely looks good. And thus far has been a very fun experience for me. Will that remain the case? I guess we'll see over the course of the next week. I'll continue to do daily videos on it like this, go over what I experience, my general thoughts, whether they've changed, whether they remain the same. So I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Now again, if you're looking for a guide on how to go ahead and download, install, register, and play the game yourself, I got you covered with a video on screen right now, or alternatively, another video going over every MMO releasing this month.